in the language English. So he was expert in English also before 40 years. I would like to welcome Srinivasmurthy Acharya. I welcome you, Acharya. If Dr. Srinivasmurthy Acharya is one of our Margadharshakaru, another main person in our institute is Professor P.S. Sheshgiri Acharya, who is also teacher of Dr. Srinivasmurthy Acharya when he was studying in Purna Pradnya Vidyapitha. He is also very thorough in English and also our Vedanta and Tarka philosophy. I would like to welcome him also. Welcome you, sir. After this, a teacher or a guru attains glory when his disciple is very disciplined or very thorough in philosophy or any other subjects. Like this, the disciple of both Sheshgiri Acharya and Srinivasmurthy Acharya is Prathosh Acharya. I would like to welcome him also, but he is not there now. He is not well. After this, I would like to welcome Dr. Deepika. I would like to welcome all my friends and guests who are present here. Welcome you all.
Knowledge of definitum is so important. There, definition means lakshana. Definitum means lakshya. Everything apart from definitum means that is alakshya. In Pramana Paddhati, there is a vakya about definitum. That is, yavadanyataha vyavartaniyam yavaticha ekashabdaha vyutpadaniyah taduchyate lakshamiti iti. Definitum is that which is differentiate other objects. It is also used in collectively communicating a group of objects by a single word. That is definition of definitum. For example, cow is a definitum because the term cow is differentiate other objects and it is also used in collectively communicated to my second point, that is definition of definition. There is a vakya about definition of in Pramana Paddhati, that is yaha dharmaha lakshe vyapta vartate navartate cha anyatra saha dharmaha lakshanam ityuchyate. That means special property which is found fully in definitum, not found anywhere else, that is definition of a definition. There special property means asadharana dharma. Now and the pervading characteristic means vyapti, and develop means sasnarimatva. For example, cow is definitum. There develop is a special property. That develop found fully in definitum, but it is not found in alakshya. For example, buffalo is alakshya. In buffalo, we could not find develop. We cannot find develop. So this is the special property of cow, and this is the definition of a cow. And we seen what is definition of definition. Now we shall proceed to my third point, that is justification of definition. Now we have definition of definition is yaha dharmaha lakshe vyaptya vartate navartate cha anyatra saha dharmaha lakshanam ityuchyate. There, when we take this part alone, navartate cha anyatra, then over applicability will occur in one hoofness, because one hoofness is not found in definitum. So over applicability will occur in one hoofness. So we should say यः धर्मः लक्ष्ये व्याप्त्या वर्तते न वर्तते च अन्यत्र, then over applicability will not occur because one hoofness is not found in definitum, so there is no over applicability. When we don't say vyaptya vartate, then over applicability will occur in blackness, because blackness is not fully found in definitum, so there is over applicability. So we should say yahad. Partial applicability will occur in blackness because blackness is not fully found in definitum, so there is partial applicability. So we should say yaha dharmaha lakshe vyaptya vartate. When we say vyaptya vartate, there is no partial applicability will occur because blackness is not fully found in cow, so there is no partial applicability. When we say yaha dharmaha vartate, saha dharmaha lakshanam ityuchyate, then impossibility will occur in having harness, because having harness is not found only in cow, it is found apart from definitum. Example, buffalo also has a having harness. So over applicability will occur in having harness. Horns. So we should say yaha dharmaha lakshe vyaptya vartate navartate cha anyatra, then over applicability will not occur because having harness is not horns. Having horns is not found only in definitum, it is found apart from definitum, so there is no over applicability. Until now we definition. Now I shall move to my fourth point, that is purpose of knowledge of definition. There are two purpose of knowledge of definition. That is one is vyavritti, another one is shabda vyavahara. There is a vakya in Pramana Paddhati, that is sajatiya vijatiya vyavrittadaya lakshyavadaranam lakshana gnanasya prayojanam. Another one is shabda vyavaharo va lakshana gnanasya prayojanam. There I will talk about only vyavritti. From knowledge of definition, we get to know the defined object, difference of defined object in two ways. That is sajatiya vyavritti and vijatiya vyavritti. There difference of member of its own classes, that called sajatiya vyavritti, and another one is difference from members of others classes, that called vijatiya vyavritti. This is the purpose of knowledge of definition. For example, Chaitra is a man, one who went to a village. There a stranger come and told him that in this village house of Devadatta is there. Upon hearing that, he got confused. There are so many houses. In there, which is the house of Devadatta? What, this is the house of Devadatta or that is the house of Devadatta? Then another stranger came and told him, Yatra pataka tad Devadatta gruham. That means where there is a flag, that is the house of Devadatta. Upon hearing that, he got confirmed that this is the only house of Devadatta and other houses not belongs to him. This is the purpose of knowledge of definition. This only house of Devadatta. This is my fourth point, and my fifth point is definition of which is not definition. That means alakshana. That alakshana is alakshana is of three types. That is over applicability, partial applicability, impossibility. Over applicability means ativyaptihi, partial applicability means avyaptihi, impossibility means asambhavah. There, what is over applicability? Over applicability means that which found in definitum, and it is also found apart definitum, that is over applicability. Partial applicability is that which is that definition not found fully in definitum, that is partial applicability. Impossibility is that which is that definition not found fully in definitum, that is impossibility.
Implicability is the fallacy. The definition is or implicable.
Oh.
The definition is partially applicable.
Impossible. And I am moving to my last point, that is similarity. That means sadrushya. Nayayikas consider jati. That means universal characteristic. From that, for example, Gotva is a jati. That means nityam, jati means nityam ekam anekanagatam samanyam. Universal characteristic is that which is inherent in individual particular cause, and it is also only one that is present in everywhere. For example, Gotva is jati. That Gotva is present in one only. That Gotva is only one, but it present in all causes. All cows. So this is the jati. But in Dvaita philosophy, we don't accept the jati. Instead of jati, we will accept similarity. From that similarity, we do anugata vyavahara. So this is the use of similarity in our Dvaita philosophy. Until now, I discussed about what is definition of definitum, definition of definition, justification of definition, and purpose of definition, and alakshana, and similarity. In this way, I am concluding my seminar. Thank you, one and all. If my speech is good, this credit should go to Guru Kiran sir. Thank you, heartily thank you, sir.
As definition is the beginning study of any object. Thus, Chiranjeevi Dhanush Bharadwaj has made a good beginning to the seminar by speaking of definition. Thank you, Bharadwaj. Now, I shall call Chiranjeevi Arjun to present his paper.
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम् प्रणम्य चरणाम्भोजे गल्म कमलापतेः प्रमाणपद्धतिं कुर्मो बालानां बोधसिद्धये श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः respected guests and teachers and my dear friends, good morning one and all. Today I am going to talk about the review of Pramana Lakshana of other philosophy. The review of Pramana Lakshana of other schools of philosophy. In the other schools of philosophy. We all know that Srimad Acharya contributed so many literatures to the society in the field of philosophy. Pramana Lakshana is one of them. For this Pramana Lakshana, Sri Tikakritpadaru wrote commentary called Pramana Paddhati, without which we cannot understand Pramana Lakshana. In that Pramana Lakshana, as Pramana, then over applicability will occur in doubt. Doubt is also not known. That's why which is not known earlier and which is valid is Pramana. This definition is not tenable because it is not having applicability in.
Should not be used. It does not have it for self. Have has no ing added to it. It has, I have. It does not say having. Having the close
It does not have applicability.
It does not have applicability in Smriti. That's why this definition also not tenable. Now, next school of philosophy, that is Nayayikas. Nayayikas, according to Nayayikas, Pramana means Samyak Anubhava Sadhanam Pramanam. If they say only Anubhava as Pramana, then over applicability will occur in doubt. If they say only Sadhanam as Pramana, then over applicability will occur in acts. If they,
sadhana. And you say more applicability in action.
after if they say only sadhana as pramana, then over applicability in instruments. On to the Udayana's philosophy. According to Udayana, pramana means prama vyaptam pramanam. The meaning is that the thing which is pervasive with valid cognition is pramana. The thing which is pervaded by knowledge cognition, knowledge is pramana. This definition is also not tenable because all the entities present in this world is pervaded with Ishvara Prama. That's why there will be over applicability in all entities.
What do you say, pervaded? Object of Ishvara Pramana. All entities are
Object of Ishvara.
Are an object.
Vyapta. The definition is that Prama Vyapta. Because of this defect, they modify their Pramana Lakshana as Sadhana Ashrayoho Anyataratve Sati Prama Vyaptam Pramanam. Then there will be no over applicability in all entities, as all entities are not Sadhana or Ashraya also. Now, we will raise another defect that if by giving only the word sadhana, the over applicability which occurred, that will be solved. Then, in this case, the word ashraya will be useless. If they say the word ashraya is given to consider Ishvara is also as pramana, then this is also not acceptable because there is no usage of the word ashraya in the agent of knowledge. That's why this definition is not tenable. And finally, Sri Tikakritpadaru defends Madhva philosophy. Above, earlier we have seen some accept only Yatartha Jnana as Pramana, some accept Yatartha Jnana Sadhana as Pramana, but Madhva philosophy is the only one and only philosophy which accept Yatartha Jnana Sadhana, Yatartha Jnana both as Pramana. And Madhvacharya is one of the major philosophers who accepts Smriti is also as Pramana. That's why, according to Madhva philosophy, Pramana means Yatartham. The meaning is that the thing which will not go beyond an object, that is only Pramana. By this, I am going to end my seminar. Thank you, one and all.
Your presentation was based on Pramana Lakshana Tika or Pramana Paddhati? Pramana Paddhati. Because you, at the start, you said that I will.
The commentary of Pramana Lakshana is Pramana Paddhati.
No. Pramana Paddhati is independent work. Pramana Paddhati is independent work. That's why I am Pramana Lakshana. There is a Pramana Lakshana Tika also. That is the commentary of Pramana Lakshana is there. But you have presented your presentation on the basis of Pramana Paddhati, which is independent work.
ನಾನು ನಾನೇ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
Okay.
ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು
Okay, no problem. But it's listed as an independent work. You have to know that there is another work. This is a commentary of Pramana. It also can be described as that, but there is an independent work. It's also independent.
Arjuna gave a good seminar. Thank you to him.
We got lot. You can say we got lot of information.
We got lot of information from him. Thank you to Arjun. Thank you, Arjun. Now I will call Trivikrama to present his paper. Welcome to him.
I invite all of us.
Respected teachers and my dear friends, good morning one and all. Today I am here to present my seminar, present my paper on Indriya as per Pramana Paddhati. These are all my points. According to Dvaita epistemology, there are two pramanas. First one is Kevala Pramana, another one is Anupramana. Kevala Pramana is of four types: Isha Jnana, Lakshmi Jnana, Yogi Jnana, Ayogi Jnana. Isha Jnana means God's knowledge. Lakshmi Jnana means Lakshmi's knowledge. Yogi Jnana means knowledge of Yogi. And Ayogi Jnana means Ayogi's knowledge. Second Pramana is Anupramana. Here Kevala Pramana means knowledge itself. Anupramana means instrument of knowledge. Instrument of knowledge is of three types: perception, inference, and verbal testimony. Perception means pratyaksha, inference means anumana, and verbal testimony means agama. First I will explain about the definition of perception or pratyaksha. I am giving introduction to the contact between defectless object and defectless sense organ is known as perception. In the definition of perception, the word Indriya is implied. Thus, before knowing the definition, we should know what is Indriya and its functions. Thus, I will explain about Indriya. Indriya is of two types. One is Swarupendriya, second one is Prakritendriya. Here Swarupendriya means the internal sense of knower. Knower means Pramata. The internal sense of knower is Swarupendriya. Antar.
Sorry, go ahead. Got it wrong. Go to Pathati.
Why this Indriya is called as Swarupendriya means this Indriya is Swarupa of Pramata, knower. Means this this Indriya is knower only. Thus, this Indriya is called as Swarupendriya. The second Indriya is Prakritendriya.
In what mean you have used that word sense?
Internal
Internal sense, it means
internal organ, sense organ. Sense organ. Prakritendriya means external sense organ of knower. Why this Indriya is called as Prakritendriya means these Indriyas are arising from Mahatattva and Panchabhuta. Mahatattva and Panchabhuta is evolute. These are evolutes of Prakriti. Thus, these Indriyas are called as Prakritendriya.
For the benefit of the audience, can you quote the Pramana Paddhati shloka?
Indriya Shabdena Jnanendriyam Grihyate. Here, Indriya means Jnanendriya. Why should we take Indriya, Jnanendriya from the word Indriya means here we are discussing about perception. Here, Jnanendriya is used, not Karmendriya. Thus,
You are thinking about epistemology, wherein sense organs are only discovered and not motor organs. Motor organs are ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Sense organs means ಜ್ಞಾನೇಂದ್ರಿಯ. The epistemology is concerned only with sense organs and not with motor organs. So we discuss only about sense organs.
Tadvividam Pramatra Swarupam Prakritam cha. Means Indriya is of two types. First one is Pramatra Swarupa, second one is Prakritendriya. Here, earlier I classified the Indriya and I will tell about functions of Sakshindriya. Sakshindriya means Swarupendriya. Here, Sakshi is identical with Swarupendriya. Means Tatra Swarupendriyam Sakshi Tyuchyate. There is no difference between Swarupendriya and Sakshi. Thus, Swarupendriya is identical with Swarupendriya, Sakshindriya. Its soul means Atma Swarupa and its attributes means the dharma and some objects. These are all some objects which are having size and color. Which are having size and color. And avidya, mind, it's the pleasure means happiness and pain. These all are objects for Sakshindriya. Why this Sakshindriya is called as Anupramana means such a Swarupa Jnanam Abhivyakti. Sakshindriya manifests knowledge of Atma Swarupa. Thus, the Sakshindriya is called as Anupramana. This Swarupa and this Anup. Sakshi is called Anupramana because it manifests knowledge of Atma Swarupa. Earlier I told none of these defects should be in Indriya and sense organ. Which are the defects in Padartha or object means these are the defects which are in object. First one is Atiduratva. Atiduratva means farness. Atisamipya means nearness. Sokshma means minuteness. Obstacle means Vyavadhana. So Samanadravya Vigata. Mixed with others without differences having been seen. And last one is sadrishya. Sadrishya means similarity. If these defects, if these defects are in object, sometimes knowledge cognition will not come, or sometimes wrong cognition will come. Thus, none of these defects should be in indriya and object. Then will only knowledge will come.
None of these objects should not be present in the object.
Objects.
How far is far? How far is far? Relating to
Andre,
if there is any measurement for farness,
can you give an example?
this 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer, is there any measurement? 1 kilometer dura, it is far away.
Can you give an example of an object which you are saying that is very far but we cannot know?
For example, Meru Parvata. Meru Parvata is so far from us.
Far to what? Far from what? Far from what?
Far from our sense organ.
You can take the example of moon. Moon is far away. Is that tree very far? Far or not?
It's far away, but earlier I explained about Swarupendriya. Now I will explain about Prakritendriya. Prakritendriya are 6 in number. Sense of touch means Tugindriya. Sense of hearing means Shrotrendriya. Sense of smell Granendriya. Sense of sound is Shrotrendriya. And mind means sense of sight means Chakrendriya. Mind means Manasu.
You say sense or sense organ?
Sense organ of sight means Chakrendriya. Mind means Manasu. Sense organ of taste is Rasanendriya. Now I will explain about which are the objects for this Prakritendriya. For example, some objects which are having size and color and some attribute.
Magnitude is not size, magnitude. Size and not the word used. Which have magnitude and color.
Magnitude and color, and some attributes means gunaha, some actions means karma, and these all are objects for Prakritendriya. Earlier I told in Indriya there should not be defects. Which are the defects present in Indriyas means Mano Anadishta Tattva. When the absence of contact with mind, then cognition will not come. And Kacha dosha, when dust in eyes, and Kamala dosha, disease of jaundice. When these when these defects will occur in Indriya, then cognition will not come. My last point is, Nayayikas say that there are 6 Sannikarshas. Sanyoga, Sanyukta Samavaya, Sanyukta Samaveta Samavaya, Samaveta Samavaya, last one is Visheshana Vishesha Bhava. Here, Sanyoga means conjunction. Conjunction. Sanyukta Samavaya means
Sanyoga, Samvaya, Sayukta Samvaya, that's how the Sanyoga.
Sayukta Samvaya, Sayukta Samveta Samvaya, then Samvaya.
Sanyukta Samavaya means conjoint inherence. Sanyukta Samaveta Samavaya means conjoint inherent inherence. Samavaya means inherence. Samaveta Samavaya means inherent inherence. Last contact, Visheshana Vishesha Bhava. The relationship between qualified and qualified. Here qualified means Visheshya, qualifier means Visheshana. The contact between qualified and qualifier is known as Visheshana Vishesha Bhava. But we don't accept these 6 Nikarshas. According to Dvaita epistemology, Sanyoga is the only Pramana.
No, with the only
Only contact.
Sanyoga is the only contact.
Any relation between
Why we don't accept Samaya means we don't accept that there is a difference between guna and attribute and substance. There is no when there is no difference between substance and attribute, then you can't say that there is Samaya. We accept the
The relationship between attribute and
attribute and substance. And the contact between qualified and qualifier is visheshana only. That thus we should not this we don't accept visheshana vishesha bhava. In this way, I would like to end my paper presentation.
did not say anything about mind. Is mind not clear?
Mind is independent instrument of memory. This
Independent instrument?
swatantrena smarana sadhana manaha.
not that.
So how can we correct the word internal sense of knower? Internal sense of knower, he put a word called internal sense of knower for Sakshi. So these are the terms used in sense. They don't use the term magnitude, they use size. They are using those sense of touch, sense of smell.
Yeah, transaction.
Varkhedi ಆಚೆ.
Parimana is magnitude.
ಸರಿ ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು ಸಾಕ್ಷಿನ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಕರೀತಾರೆ.
Internal sense of knower.
It is sense of
Knower.
Internal sense. Anyhow, we have not so appropriate so that need the word meaning.
sense is cognition. Sense organ is indriya.
Sense is cognition.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಹರಿವು
Sense of taste is cognition.
Knower itself is sense organ. Knower for himself.
Good capacity. It is knower and it is also instrument.
You can translate as
It
an
is cognition also.
internal sense organ.
Sakshi is cognition also and the instrument of cognition also.
కాదు ఎంత కాదు కాదు తెరలేదా
You have to word English. You have to use English word. When you are using
ఇదే
practice,
ನಾನು
you
ಅವಳು
have to-
ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು
you know the word.
ಹೋದ ವರ್ಷ ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ 8ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು
English word.
ಹೋದ ವರ್ಷ 8ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ನ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ.
From Trivikrama, we got lot of information. Thank you, Trivikrama. Now, Vallabha is, I am inviting Vallabha to present his. I invite Vallabha to present his paper presentation. Welcome him.
ಸರಿ ಸಂಜೆ ಮಾತಾಡಲ್ಲ ಸಂಜೆ ಮಾತಾಡಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಸರಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ
You know for what?
Computer science.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Good morning to one and all present here. Today, my topic in this seminar, I am given with the topic called the status of Smriti in Dvaita epistemology. So, in this address, I would like to elucidate the concept of the Smriti as uh, uh, elucidated in the Dvaita epistemology. To engage with this concept, first we must understand the two primary functions of the pramana. As there is a very great many philosophers in the many schools of philosophies. Some consider Smriti as pramana, but many of them does not consider Smriti as pramana. So before addressing the pramanya of Smriti, I would like to engage with this concept to the two primary functions of pramana. The first one is to render an entity an object of knowledge. That is to if the knowledge, the object which is known as the Vishaya of the knowledge, that is one function of pramana, and another is to make the entity cognizable. Cognizable means to make it jnata, to to make it to make the object jnata. So these are the two functions of pramana, and as
Two faces of the same coin.
first one is to render an entity an object of knowledge, means to make the object, to make the substance ghata. If they take an example ghata, to make it the knowledge of object of knowledge, and another one is to make the ghata the jnatata sampadanam, the second function, gneyata sampadanam. No, I am not explaining. I am going to explain the pramanya of Smriti.
It is to be corrected.
Okay.
What is the source of your seminar?
Today I am going to take some topics from Pramana Paddhati, and the main base of my seminar will be my speech will be upon on the book of Dasgupta, which is the history of Indian philosophy, and I would like to touch the parts of Prakarana Panchika of Salikanatha, Mimamsa philosopher. So the definition of pramana according to Madhva philosophy is Gneyam Anatikrame Vartamanam Yathavasthitameva Gneyam Yad Vishayikaroti Na Anyatha Tat Pramanam. This is the definition given by Tikacharya, the Jaitirtha, in his Pramana Paddhati. In its simplest sense, the pramana is which refers to the means of instruments of knowledge, and that leads to the valid knowledge. So it enables an object to be recognized as it truly is in its essence. So this is the pramana lakshana given by Jaitirtha in his Pramana Paddhati. The definitum, that is the lakshya for this pramana lakshana of Sri Jaitirtha, is both the knowledge and instrument of knowledge, that is anupramana and kevala pramana. The main difference between this kevala pramana and anupramana is that the all pramanas render an entity as an object of knowledge, but not all perform the second function, which is the making the object truly cognizable. As we the anupramana, which are the indriya sense organs, they make the object cognizable by producing the knowledge. They directly do not make the object as cognizable. So one is sakshat and one is paramparaya. This is the two difference between the kevala pramana and anupramana. This pramana lakshana of Sri Madhvacharya contemplates smriti, that is the memory, as valid, that is pramana. So whereas other schools of philosophy does not, and they have inclined their pramana lakshanas so that not to consider smriti as pramana. They do not consider smriti as pramana. They are inclined to smriti as not to consider as pramana. So there is no pramanya according to other philosophies in Smriti. Salikanatha in his Prakarana Panchika, Shalikanatha. Shalikanatha in his Prakarana Panchika states that the Smriti is not considered as Pramana because it does not directly, he states that memory is the knowledge produced by the impressions of previous knowledge, that is samskara. It is produced by impressions of previous knowledge, and it is necessarily, it refers to the past experience only. So we get to know that as per his school of thought, knowledge is dependent or produced by the previous knowledge is not considered as pramana. So this is the not considered valid. Sri Jaitirtha counters this argument, states that Sri Jaitirtha confutes it that when a pramana or when a object is been remembering an object, when knowledge is been remembering an object which was cognized before by him, even though the object is not existing at the present time, but the knowledge which is cognized by him is unquestionably the object which is which was existing before, which existed at that time when he experienced that object earlier. So and the Sri Jaitirtha counters this his argument by many counter arguments. This is the first counter argument given by Sri Jaitirtha, and the next argument he says that if
What is the answer?
Shalikanatha said that previous knowledge, and it is not in agreement with the time, place and condition. The time, place and condition, and Jaitirtha considered that it is definitely, it is unquestionably the same object which was experienced before earlier by him. There may be no agreement between the
Memory is not defining the time and place.
memory is yatharthya is not the agreement between the time, place and condition. It is just that if the pramana, which knowledge, which if it cognizes the object as it is in its sense, then the knowledge is considered as pramana. So as the smriti is cognizing the object as it existed before, then there is no objection in considering the smriti as pramana. It is not there is even though there is no agreement between condition, time and place, but it is cognizing the object as it is present in its sense, as it was at present, as it was experienced before by him earlier, and it was then experienced.
Not with the current time and condition.
Not with the current time and condition. The next argument placed, counter argument placed by Jaitirtha is, if you considered as the if the knowledge of the objects which were present before as apramana, then the all knowledge of past and future cognitions, the past and future cognitions would have been taken as apramana. There will be no pramanya of past and future cognitions, because even the past and future cognitions are cognizing the object which was present in past or which is going to be present in future. So even now there is no agreement between time, place and condition. So even all these cognitions of past and future objects should have been considered as apramana, invalid. He counters this argument of Shalikanatha, giving the Shabda Pramana, that is the validity of the memory of verbal reference. When a person, as we know that a person says that my memory is validity in this object, in the presence of this object, is validity in the presence of this object. That is the so we can consider that smriti the pramanya, in the validity of smriti, in the concept of validity of smriti, memory, we can even consider shabda pramana, that is the verbal reference which considers that the smriti is valid.
My memory is proof.
My memory is proof in the validity of this object.
Valid object. Validity of.
What's the proof of the existence of an object?
My memory is the proof in existing of this object.
When someone goes to the court, what he says?
My memory
My memory is proof.
is the proof.
You explain that Sanskrit sentence.
Smritau shabda pramanam.
You explain that.
Smritau, that is the, in the concept of smriti, in the concept of memory, there is this verbal reference, shabda pramanam, verbal reference. Smritau, स्मृति विषये शब्द प्रमाण, स्मृति विषये शब्द प्रमाण, आगम प्रमाणं वर्तते इति शब्दः प्रमाण, आम् आम् शब्दः वक्तृ, आम् वक्तृवाक्यं प्रमाण. The next counter argument placed by Jaitirtha is, if we consider do not consider the pramanya of smriti, validity of smriti, then the various smritis of Manu or Yagnavalkya may have been considered as apramana, because whatever it is considered elucidated in Manu Smriti or Yagnavalkya Smriti, it is there. It is just the remembrance of Vedas. So even remembrance of their experience and the spiritual texts. So even the Manusmriti and Yagnavalkya Smriti may have to be considered as apramana, invalid. So these are the counter argument placed by Jaitirtha. Sri Shalikanatha counters this argument saying that no, we will consider only the knowledge which is fruit, which has some fruit, which is saphala. The memory which has no validity because it's fruitless. Thus we can consider Smriti as apramana. So he elucidates his points that there is no pramana in, there is no validity in Smriti because it is fruitless, it is nisphala, useless.
Why it is useless?
Because the whatever cognition is gained by the person, the object was cognized before itself. He is again remembering the object. There is no, whatever is the experience is the again remembering of the object. So there is no new object. There is no use of this memory. New aspect. There is adding nothing to the knowledge. So Jaitirtha counters this argument saying that we cannot consider that the only the object cannot be considered on the basis whether the knowledge brings up any fruit or not. The pramanya validity merely depends on the correctness or the correctness of the correspondence, not on the fruitlessness. So he also eradicates the fact that memory is not fruitful. It is fruitful. He says that as when we get the memory of happy things, good things, it makes us feel pleasant. So so that itself is can be considered that as the fruit of memory. Phala.
Shabda was translated literally in that means. Adhe samasya.
What is the correct term? We should use result.
Output. Output the word output.
Utility, pragmatism, these are the
Validity is not dependent on fruitlessness.
Thus the memory is formed due to the root impressions, and as the root impressions are the memory is formed in the because of the root impressions, the memory is formed in this way. Shalikanatha again counters this argument saying that knowledge of new object is only considered as pramana. Knowledge of new object is only considered as pramana. Naveen, I will elucidate the point. What is the new object? New object of the knowledge.
Where did you get that Sanskrit sentence from?
These are only my points.
Navina Jnana Pramanam.
That is the points given, the words used in the Prakarana Panchika by that Shalikanathas.
Navina Jnanam. Should be qualified to object. Navina Jnanam Pramanam.
He has
Object is for Jnanam. Now you.
no, he has made the point that Navina Jnanam means the Navina object, which is the object of knowledge, is called as Navina Jnanam in his.
You just explain.
He again tries to prove his point, saying that the knowledge of which has a new object is only only to be considered as pramana, which is valid, and memory which is a knowledge which doesn't have any new object in itself, it cannot be considered as valid as pramana. So Jaitirtha counters this argument, saying that if we considered only the new knowledge, the knowledge which has a new object as pramana, then the knowledge of eternal objects like kala had to be considered as invalid, because there is no new object to be considered in the knowledge. So the knowledge of eternal objects like kala, akasha had to be considered as apramana, invalid. And it is also said that if you say that the concept of new knowledge is not considered to refer for the object of knowledge but the method of knowledge, then you may be able to consider the knowledge of eternal object as valid, but you will have to consider the continuous perception, that is dharavahika pratyaksha, to be as invalid, because there is no newness in it. So this is the way he counters. And the ವಿಷಯ ಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಷಯವಾದದ್ದು ಅನಧಿಗತ ಅನಧಿಗತ ಅರ್ಥಗಂತೃತ್ವಂ. That Sanskrit Vakya is the same merely from the Prakarana Panchika, so I didn't change it.
Sanskrit sentence is alright. The translation is not up to you.
It may be this first cognition.
First cognition
Is
Pramana, valid.
Whose first cognition?
Whose first cognition? Whose first cognition?
Anadhigata Arthaganta.
Object is not experienced before.
The other philosophical perspectives on the Smriti Pramanya is that if we the last one which is given by considered by Sri Jaitirtha is that the Smriti is independent. It is not dependent on any other knowledge. If we consider that Pramana which is independent and not produced from some other knowledge, then the validity of inference which is considered as valid by most of the schools of philosophy will have to be considered as invalid, because even inference is produced due to the knowledge of invariable concomitance, that is Vyapti Jnana. So it is definitely proven that there is no need of any independence, and also there is no requirement of any relation between the validity and the unacquaintance of the object of the knowledge. That is, even if the object of knowledge is acquainted, the knowledge of that object can be definitely considered as pramana. So in this way he Sri Jaitirtha proves the pramanya of smriti, validity of memory. Thank you.
The presentation of Vallabha according to Smriti, according to memory, will be in our memory for a long time. Until now, the presentation on the paper presentation on Pramana Paddhati has done. Now we will begin presentation on Deepika Grantha. Now I call Shreyas to present his paper.
Today I'm talking about Panchayavakya. As told in Deepika.
There are only 3 points to get knowledge of Panchayavakya. Here first point is the necessity and meaning of Panchayavakya. Second one is description of the 5 members of Panchayavakya from Tarkasangraha. And the last one is detailed explanation from Deepika. Here first point is the necessity and meaning of Panchayavakya. We all know that in the process of Anumana, we infer the object from proving factor. From this inference, we get we further divided into further divided into 2 types. One is Pararthanumana and the other one is Swarthanumana. Here, technical words for object is Sadhya, proving factor is known as Hetu. Here, what is Pararthanumana? The Pararthanumana is Anumana. He is done for the others. Is done for sake of others. Whereas Swarthanumana is done for own sake. What is Pararthanumana? We don't that Pararthanumana requires syllogism. Syllogism means the every philosopher's philosophy has its own structure of logic. That is called syllogism. That syllogism is the that syllogism of Nyayikas, or the Nyayikas is having 5 vakyas, is also known as Panchayavakya. That Panchayavakya here we have seen the necessity and the meaning of Panchayavakya. Next point is description of the 5 members of Panchayavakya from Tarkasangraha. Here in Tarkasangraha they tell Parvato Vanniman iti pratigna dhumotvarti hetuhu yo dhuman saha vanniman yatha maharasam iti udaharanam tatha cha ayamiti upanayah tasmaratha iti nigamanam. From the technical words for 5 limbs or 5 members of Panchayavakya, here proposition, reason, example, substantive, correlative, conclusion. From these limbs, the process of Pararthanumana takes place. Pratigna is here. Pratigna it means proposition. Hetuhu it means reason. Udaharanam it means example. Upaneyaha it means substantive, correlative. Nigamanam it means conclusion. Here thus we have seen the Tarkasangraha Vakya in brief. Yeah. Third point is detailed explanation from Deepika Vakya. Here, first in 5 limbs, first one is proposition. Propositions mean pratigna. In Tarkasangraha Vakya, they tell Parvato Vanniman iti pratigna. It means the mountain is fiery. The mountain is fiery is the proposition. In Deepika Vakya, they tell Sadhyavatya Pakshavatanam Pratigna. Sadhyavatya Pakshavatanam Pratigna is the Deepika Vakya. This is the definition of Deepika Vakya. This implication of this Deepika Vakya is when the sadhya is to be proved in the subject, that declaration is called as proposition or pratigna. Next one, second one is reason. Reason means hetu. Here, in the reason, the definition of reason is in Tarkasangraha they tell dhumatvar iti hetu. It means the phrase smokiness is the reason. Smoke is the reason.
Have you not heard of major term, minor term and all those things?
No, I have not.
No, sir.
Okay, the words have not been used in the book. Major term, minor term. Reason, object, nothing just like that.
Which book?
ಇದು Swami Urupakshananda. He has translated Tarkasangraha. He is not using the term major term, minor term.
They are simple words.
Paksha,
Major
minor
term.
term.
They are simple words.
Terminology is more. Most of these translators, they don't move away from Sanskrit. That's the problem.
Major term, middle term. Simple ಆಗಿದೆ.
The phrase due to smokiness can I say?
Really,
Major term sadhya. Middle term hetu.
I don't know, there's nothing wrong with what I have said. What you have been taught is something.
Proposition ಗಿಂತ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್
ಇಲ್ಲ ಆ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ UP people they don't know English. UP people translate ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ
Here, Deepika Vakya is like this. Panchamentam linga pratibadakam hetu. It means the one which is the one which is proving the one which is telling about hetu he is called as reason. The one which is telling about hetu, about reason.
We are not teaching you anyway, we are only listening and people are judging.
The one is the hetu. What is the purpose of hetu is purpose of hetu? The purpose of hetu is to demonstrating the sadhya in the paksha. Third one is proving. Is proving. Third one is example. Example means udaharana. In Tarkasangraha Vakya, they tell yo dhumavan saha vanyaman yatha mahanasam iti udaharanam. It means wherever there is smoke, there is a fire. The example for there is fire. Example for hearth. Example hearth. Here in Deepika Vakya they tell Vyapti Pratibadakam Udaharanam. It means that example is kitchen. Example a kitchen. Kitchen.
ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡು ಪಾಠ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು
ಅಡಿಗೆ
ಅಡಿಗೆ ಮನೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದಾರಲ್ವಾ
Vyapti, in Deepika Vakya they tell Vyapti Pratibadakam Udaharanam. Implication of this Vakya is that example is declaring the substantive correlative.
Can you tell where this example exists? Can you describe where this example exists in practical life?
Which?
This example. Okay.
Kitchen.
Hearth or kitchen.
Ah. In kitchen we can see that fire and smoke. Fire and smoke.
You can see smoke and fire.
We can see smoke and fire. Then we can get Vyapti. That then we can get.
This example for Vyapti.
Is the example for Vyapti.
Vyapti of.
Vyapti means what?
Yeah. The relation between Hetu and Satya is called as Vyapti. Then we go to mountain. We go to hill. There we can see smoke. Then we infer that wherever there is smoke, there is a fire. There is fire. There is fire. Next one, the purpose of example is to demonstrate. The purpose of example is to declare. So many times. When we get Vyapti Jnana,
Is to arrive at the knowledge of invariant concomitance.
You say you use that Sanskrit word.
But looking at finite number of associations, how do you get in Vyapti?
no, we
ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಪಾಠ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಶಬ್ದ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಹೇಳಿ
ಸಾಹಚರ್ಯ ದರ್ಶನ
ಸ-
ಸಲ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ
ಹಾ.
ನೈಯಾಯಿಕ ಪ್ರಕಾರ
Vyapti Brahasthan is not
ಗುಯೋ ದರ್ಶನ
ಗುಯೋದರ್ಶನ.
ಗುಯೋ
ಇದೆ
ನೈಯಾಯಿಕ ಗುರು ದರ್ಶನದಿಂದ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿ
ನ್ಯಾಯಿಕ ಮತ್ತು ಅಲೌಕಿಕ.
ಸಮಾನದರ್ಶಿ ಪ್ರತ್ಯಾಸಕ್ತಿ
ಸಾಮರಸ್ಯ. The purpose of example is to confirm the Vyapti between Hetu and Satya. Third one, the last but fifth one is subsumptive correlative. Subsumptive correlative is means Upanaya. In Tarkasangraha Vakya, in Tathacha is the Tarkasangraha Vakya. In Deepika Vakya, they tell Vyapti Vijishta Linga Pratipādakam Vachanam Upanaya. It means this is the definition of subsumptive correlative. That definition's implication is like this. We can understand that the declaration of the reason is accompanied Vyapti Vijishta.
ಸಬ್ಸಂಪ್ಟಿವ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿಲ್ಲ
Substantive.
ಸಬ್ಸಂಪ್ಟಿವ್ ಕೋರಿಲೇಷನ್
substantive.
it is given as subsumptive only. Subsumptive correlation. So, Paramasha and subsumptive correlation.
what is the meaning of the word what is the meaning of the word
Andre, it is subsumed. From the word subsumption it is. What is another word for subsumptive correlative? Is that word?
Demonstration.
He's trying to say demonstration.
Alternative word for the alternative word.
ಉಪನಯ ಇದೆ ನೀನು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ
There is another word. There is any other word for Upanaya in English?
Demonstration is
No, sir, whatever you know.
Okay, you tell one practical example of them. What is demonstration? Can you explain what is demonstration?
demonstration. We in Vyapti, theory is the Vyapti. Theory, we when we say in Paksha, then practical is there is a practical. That practical is called as a demonstration.
ವದಿನ್ಯಾಂ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬನ್ನಿ ವ್ಯಾಕರಣ ಅಂತ ಎಂಬ
implication of this Deepika Vakya is the declaration of reason accompanied by the vyapti of sadhya vyapti of the thing to be proved is called as upanaya. Upanaya. This substantive correlative is called as is also known as demonstration. Here, what is the purpose of demonstration? The purpose of demonstration is to show us how to get knowledge of hetu in the subject. Last one is conclusion. Conclusion means Nikamanam. Here, in Tarkasangraha Vakya, there is a Tatha Chayam iti Nikamanam. Tasmat Tatha iti Nikamanam. Here, the Deepika Vakya, they tell Hetu Sadhyavataya Paksha Pratibadakam Vachanam Nikamanam iti. The implication of this Deepika Vakya is the declaration of subject along with the Hetu and Sadhya is called as conclusion. Here, the purpose of conclusion is to demonstrate the existence of the thing to be proved in the subject. Thus, we have seen the Panchaya Vakya in brief. Thank you.
Amita, I think you have some more slides. If the examiners feel appropriate, a general area of improvement advisory may be.
Examples.
Seminar should be concluded before lunch.
Next time will be extended.
Shrey's seminar was well explained. Now I would like to invite Sri Hari P. Rao to present his paper on classification of categories.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. In this seminar, my topic is classification of categories, which is Paddhartha Vibhaga. I would explain these 8 points in my topic. Here, the author Annam Bhatta tells that Dravya Guna Karma Samanya Vishesha Samavaya Abhavaha Sapta Padarthaha. He tells the word Sapta, that means 7. Then we get to know that there are only 7 categories, 7 entities in the world. The question is like this: are there only 7 entities in the whole world? Because if we see only, we get to know that there are many entities. So how can you tell that there are only 7 entities in the world? So reply given by Nayayikas is like this. Answer given by Nayayikas like this. The one which is having categoryness, one which is having substanceness is substance. The one which is having qualityness is quality. Like this, there are 7. There are only 7 attributes of entities. So the one which is having this attribute is only category, that means the substance is one category, quality is one category. We are not telling that there are only 7 entities in the world, but we are telling that 7 categories are in the world. So, like this answer is given by Nayayikas.
Generals and universals.
Generals, Jati.
I will come across these words, universal and general.
Universe.
Are you familiar with these words?
Yeah.
So, instead of saying
Attribute, we can tell that.
universals exist in all these 7 categories. So we need to say on the basis of these universals, we are going to divide all the
7 categories.
all the objects into 7 categories.
After this, opponents point deficiency, that means Nyunata in the deficiency in the in this Padartha Vibhaga, because if the definition is told, then only you can do the classification or the division of categories. So here the definition is only not told, so how can you do the classification of categories? This is the question. Answer is like this. The word Padartha itself tells the definition. Like Padasya Artha iti Vyutpatya Abhidhayatvam Padartha Samanya Lakshanam. Abhidhayatvam is the definition of categories. Abhidhayatvam means the one which is having name. That is only the definition of categories. After this, the word 7 is given in the sentence of Tarkasangraha. If we count 7 categories, we get to know that there are 7 categories. Why do you give the word Sapta? This is 7 entities. 7 categories and third substance less.
Category is the object. Category includes 7 entities.
Categories. ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಅಂತ ದ್ರವ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪೃಥ್ವಿ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಒಂದು ದ್ರವ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ, ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಗುಣ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ. ಅದು So the question is like this: is the word Sapta superfluous? Because if we count the 7 entities, we get to know that there are 7. Why do you give the word Sapta? Answer is like this: we tell the word Sapta to exclude the larger number. That means we have to exclude the counter the 8th category. So we will tell the word Sapta. After this, opponents ask that is the 8th category cognized or not? Because if you tell the 8th category is cognized, then you can't counter that, because Pramitasya Nishedha Yogat. So you can't counter the object which is cognized. So you have to tell it is not cognized. If you tell it is not cognized, then also you can't counter that, because Nishedha Pramitim Prati Pratyogi Pramitihi Karanam. Here, if you counter the 8th category, you have to know the you have to have the knowledge of the 8th entity. So if you tell it is not cognized, then you are not having the cognition of 8th entity. So you can't counter that. Like this, the word Sapta is not given to exclude the larger number. That is why another answer is like this: the word Sapta is given to explain the invariable concomitance between category and anywheness in substance, etc. यत्र पदार्थाः तत्र तत्र द्रव्यादि सप्तान्यतमाः इति. पदार्थत्वं द्रव्यादि सप्तान्यतमत्वं व्याप्यम्. यत्र यत्र द्रव्यादि यत्र यत्र पदार्थाः तत्र तत्र द्रव्यादि सप्तान्यतमाः. तत्त्वं तत्र तत्र द्रव्यादि सप्तान्यतमत्वं.
should say like that.
अथवा ये पदार्थाः
ते ते द्रव्यादि सप्तान्यतमाः. Invariable concomitance means sahacharya niyama or vyapti. In this vyapti, the word anyone's or anyatamatva is used, saptanyatamatva. What is the meaning of saptanyatamatva? Saptanyatamatva means sapta bhinna bhinnatvam. That means the one which is different from 7 categories, it is that is sapta bhinna. The one which is different from also sapta bhinna is known as sapta bhinna bhinna. So this is the meaning of anyone's. So if you tell like this, then sapta bhinna, that means the one which is different from 7 entities, is not cognized. So you can't also tell that the one which is different from 7 categories. So sapta bhinna is only not cognized, then sapta bhinna bhinna is also not cognized. So you can't tell the implication of anyone's like this. So Nayayikas tell that implication of anyone's is absence of 7 differences in one category. That means dravyadi bheda saptaka abhavatvam. There are 7 differences as substance difference. That means dravya bheda, guna bheda, like this. There are 7 differences. In one category or in one entity, there are 6 differences. But not there are not 7 differences present in one category. So absence of 7 differences is present in every entity. So saptanitattva means absence of 7 differences in one category. That means dravyadi bheda saptaka abhavavatvam. Like this, dravyadi saptanitattvam is having the meaning. So vyapti or invariable concomitance is correct. This for this invariable concomitance, the word sapta was used. So the sentence by Annam Bhatta is also correct. In my seminar, first I explained 7 categories. Is the word sapta superfluous? Then now it is adhika sankhya vichedikatva arthakatva. That means to exclude the larger number. Then sahacharya niyama, that is vyapti. In that vyapti, the meaning of anyatamatva. First I told that it is sapta bhinna bhinnatva. After countering that, the last meaning was dravyadi bheda saptaka abhavatvam. Like this, I would like to conclude my seminar. Thank you, Anna.
Srihari P. Rao gave a well presentation. Now I would like to invite Vishwesha to present his paper on the substance called air.
Respected teachers and friends, today I gonna talk about the substance called air. According to Tarkasangraha, in my seminar there are 6 points. First is the classification of the substance in this universe. In the Samskrita, that is known as Dravya Vibhaga. In this universe, there are 7 categories. The first category is known as Dravya. This Dravya is further divided into 9 types. The 4th Dravya is known as Vayu. let's see the definition of the Vayu. वायोः लक्षणं किम्? रूपरहितत्वे सति स्पर्शवत्वं वायोः लक्षणं. Which is colorless and which is having a manifested touch, that is the air. In this definition, there are two parts, which is having a which is colorless and which is having a manifested touch. Here, the first part, I mean the which is colorless, this part is given for removing the ativyapti which will occur in the earth and fire like that, because they also having the manifested touch, the earth and water also having the manifested touch, because the thus we should say that which is colorless.
Give the quotation of Deepika Vakya.
पृथिव्यादौ अतिव्याप्तिवारणाय रूपरहितत्वेति. And next, the second part, I mean the word which is having a manifested touch is given for removing the ativyapti which will occur in space and time, etc. Because they are also having the colorless, colorlessness. Thus, the word which is having a manifested touch is useful. Manifested touch means the
the keyword you have
yes,
put it, they are asking you what is there itself. Go over to that manifested touch. What is that?
That which is perceived by the sense organ of touch. Yeah, yeah, which is. Next question will that occur that the we can't see the air because it is invisible. Thus, what is the proof in presence of the air? The Deepika help us. Sparshanumeyo. Deepika help us like this. Sparshanumeyo vayuhu. योयं वायो वाति सति अनुष्णाशीतस्पर्शः उपलभ्यते सः क्वचिदाश्रितः गुणत्वात् रूपवत्. The neither hot nor cold touch is having some substratum, but that substratum is not visible. That is the air. This is a proof in the presence of the air. Here the question will occur, why that substratum, the substratum means adhikaranam, why that substratum is not Prithvi, not earth. When we say like this, the answer is that the substratum cannot be Prithvi, because the earth is having a manifest, the neither hot nor cold touch, but it's not invisible, it is visible, because this substratum is not it is invisible. Because of this, the earth is not earth cannot be the substratum. And second one, this substratum is also not water and fire, because they are having the fire is having hot touch and water is having cold touch, but this substratum is having neither hot nor cold touch. Because of this substratum is not fire and water, and it is also not space and time and direction and so on. Because of the reason is that these substances are all pervading substances, but this substance is not all pervading. Because of this, it's not the substratum for the neither hot nor cold touch. Lastly, it is not mind also. Mind is of atomic nature. Which is the atomic nature? It can't felt for our sense. It cannot perceived by our senses. Because of this, the mind also not a substratum. Thus, the vayu, the air is the substratum for the neither hot nor cold touch. And here, the question will occur: if this is a definition of the air, then what is the definition of the vital air? Vital air means the prana. What is the definition of the vital air? The vital air is also air, which is named by its different functions only. The vital air is also known as air, and its place is our body. The vital air placed in every bodies.
What are the 5 functions of that vital air? What are the names?
Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. Like that. And the opponents say that the vayu is perceived because of manifested touch. By the manifested touch, the air is perceived. But Nayayikas say that when we will say like this, when we will say like vayu is perceived, then upadhi will occur in manifested color. The manifested color will be the upadhi. Because
What is Sanskrit term for that?
Udbhuta rupavatva. Because wherever there is a manifested color, there is a visibility. But the air is not visible because of it's not having a manifested color. By this, upadhi will occur when we say that vayu is perceived. Because vayu is not perceived, it is inferred only. Okay, thank you.
You conclude. I would like to conclude.
I would like to conclude my seminar. Thank you.
Vishwesha's presentation was creative and exciting. Now I would like to invite Nilakanta to present his paper on perception.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Respected teachers and my friends, good morning one and all. My name is Nilakanta. My topic is perception from Tarkasangraha. Author is Sri Annam Bhatta. In my seminar, there are 5 points. Points are like this. The first point is definition of perception and its stages. According to Nyaya Shastra, there are 4 pramanas: Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Shabda. Pratyaksha means perception. The definition of perception is like this: Indriyartha Sannikarsha Janyam Jnanam Pratyaksham. The knowledge born of the contact of the sense organ with an object is called as perception. Perception is divided 2 types: one is Nirvikalpaka Pratyaksha and second one is Savikalpaka Pratyaksha. Nirvikalpaka Pratyaksha means indeterminate perception and Savikalpaka means determinate perception. Generally the definition of determinate perception and indeterminate perception is Nishprakarakam Jnanam Nirvikalpakam and Saprakarakam Jnanam Savikalpakam. Until now we have seen definition of perception and stages. Now some differences between according to opinion of famous authors. Annam Bhatta says like this: in indeterminate perception, substance and qualities are cognized together, but without the knowledge of relation between them. But in determinate perception, the knowledge, the relation is also known. Is the difference between indeterminate perception and determinate perception. And Annam Bhatta says like this: in the indeterminate perception, substance and qualities are cognized separately, but in determinate perception, the substance and qualities are cognized together. Is the difference between a determinate perception and indeterminate perception.
This is told by whom?
Jayanta Bhatta. Vatsayana says like this: if an object is pursued without its name, then it is indeterminate perception. Otherwise, is determinate perception. Until now, we have seen some differences between indeterminate perception and determinate perception according to opinion of famous authors. Now, next point is, what is proof for indeterminate perception? The definition of indeterminate perception is indeterminate perception. Indeterminate perception. The definition of indeterminate perception is Visheshana Vishesha Sambandha Anavagahi Jnanam Nirvikalpakam. The knowledge in which there is an absence of substance, attribute and relation is called as indeterminate perception. Indeterminate perception. There is a question: what is proof for indeterminate perception? Proof is inference. Inference is like this: Gauhiti Vishishta Jnanam, Visheshana Jnanajanyam, Vishishta Jnanatvat, Danditi Jnanavata. The knowledge of this is cow is born from knowledge of attribute because the Vakya, this is cow, it is an attributive knowledge. There, Vishishta Jnana, attributive knowledge is Hetu. Visheshana Jnana, knowledge of attribute is Sadhya. Just like Sadhya is inferred from Hetu, same way the knowledge of attribute is inferred from attributive knowledge. Until now, we discussed a proof for determinate perception. There is one question. Question is like this: if knowledge of attribute is taken as determinate perception, then what will happen? Then infinite regresses, means anavastha will come. Visheshana Jnana is taken as Hetu, then for this Hetu another Sadhya is, has to be present. Therefore, knowledge of attribute is internal perception. And the last one is definition of determinate perception. Nama Jatyadi Visheshana Vishesha Sambandha Avagahi Jnanam Saprakarakam Jnanam. The knowledge which contains relation between attribute and subject is called as determinate perception. Is the last point. I have told here only some points about perception. With this, I would like to end my seminar. Thank you for your attention.
How many more participants are there?
Nilakanta gave a presentation on his subject. Now I would like to invite Sanjeev Mahidara to present his paper.
Please bring it back. Sir, bring the charger. Yes. Sir, he doesn't know.
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् आपादमौलिपर्यन्तं गुरूणामाकृतिं स्मरेत् तेन विघ्नाः प्रणश्यन्ते सिद्ध्यन्ति च मनोरथाः. Respected teachers and my friends, today I am talking about Anumiti, means inferential knowledge. In Nayayika philosophy, in Tarkasangraha, in Nyaya philosophy, Tarkasangraha Deepika is the major text. In Tarkasangraha Deepika, there are five parts, which are Pratyaksha Paricheda, Anumana Paricheda, and Upamana Paricheda, Shabda Paricheda, and Avashishta Paricheda. In Nyaya philosophy, there are four types of proofs. Which are Pratyaksha, Anumana, and Upamana and Shabda. But in these four proofs, Anumana is the greatest proof of Nayayikas. So, for Nayayikas, the process of anumity is like this. First, the inference. After the inference, we will get consideration, means paramarsha. After the paramarsha, we will get inferential knowledge, means anumity. in anumana means inference. Anumiti karanam anumanam. The Deepika tells that inference is the special cause of inferential knowledge. Then we will get doubt. What is inferential knowledge? Inferential knowledge means, inferential knowledge is the knowledge which comes from consideration, means paramarsha. This is the meaning is coming from Tarkasangraha Deepika, paramarsha janyam jnanam anumitihi. This is the definition of anumiti. Paramarshaha means consideration. Here, the objection of ativyapti is there in the definition. Objection of ativyapti is there. Because when we tell paramarsha-janyam jnanam anumitihi, paramarsha-janyatve sati jnanatvam is the anumiti definition, then there will be over-applicability in post-doubt perception. Post-doubt perception means samshayottara pratyaksha. The explanation of ativyapti is like this. A man who sees an object from distance will get doubt whether it is man or pole. After going near, he will perceive the legs and hands which are pervasive, means vyapya. After the perception of vyapya, he will get paramarsha that purushatva vyapya karacharadima ayam. After the paramarsha, he will get the perception that he will get the knowledge purushayeva, ayam purushayeva. Here the knowledge purushayeva is perception only. So here the perception is coming from paramarsha only. So the definition of anumiti is having over applicability in perception and post doubt perception. But here Nayayikas tells that the knowledge which came from paramarsha is anumiti only, mean inferential knowledge only. Thus the over applicability is not there. But this is not correct, because when we say the knowledge which gained from paramarsha is anumiti, then there will be virodha, anuvyavasaya virodha. Anuvyavasaya means cognition of cognition. So we will get so here anuvyavasaya virodha will come. So we can't say that the knowledge is perception only, anumiti only. So the over applicability is still there. The Nayayikas give the reply like this. We have to add adjunct pakshata sahakritatva to the definition of anumiti. So here the lakshana of anumiti is pakshata sahakrita paramarsha-janyam jnanam smritihi. So by giving prefixing the adjunct to the definition, the over applicability will go. Because the man and the pervasive things are perceived together. So this is not considered as inference. So the over applicability is not applicability is not there. And the pakshata sahakritatva is the adjunct. Here the we will get doubt. What means pakshata? So Annam Bhatta tells that pakshata means sishadhaisha viraha vishishta siddha bhavaha pakshata. Means pakshata is the characteristic of paksha, means subject. There are two conditions to pakshata. When the pakshata will be there, then only the anumiti will come. So so pakshata should there. For pakshata also there are two conditions which are desire to infer the sadhya in paksha, means subject, and another one is absence of confirmation of sadhya to be inferred. Here Annamata tells that sadhya siddhi anumiti pratibandhika, which means when the when the confirmation of sadhya to be inferred is there, will be there, then the anumiti will not occur, anumiti will not come. So here sadhya siddhi means the confirmation of sadhya to be inferred is the pratibandhaka, means obstacle for anumiti.
This is fourth point or fifth point?
This is fifth point, description of pakshata.
Correlation should be there between what two.
Here Annam Bhatta gives an example that that is the fire. In fire, when we will keep Chandrakanta Mani, then the fire will not burn because there is obstacle, Pratibandhaka. Chandrakanta Mani is the obstacle. We will not feel the burn. So because of obstacle, we will not feel the heat. But when we will keep Suryakanta Mani in fire together with along with Chandrakanta Mani, we will feel the heat of fire, because here the Suryakanta Mani is the stimulating agent, means uttejaka. Here Suryakanta Mani is the uttejaka, stimulating agent. So the to feel the heat of fire, there are two conditions. One is absence of obstacle along with stimulating agent, along with presence of stimulating agent. Likewise, in anumiti, in pakshata also there are two conditions, which are desire to infer the sadhya in paksha, and absence of confirmation of sadhya to be inferred. These are two conditions in pakshata. When the pakshata is there, then only the anumiti, inferential knowledge will come. So here the over applicability is also not there. So the definition of anumiti is good only. Likewise, so I am ending my presentation. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Mahindara's presentation gave us good inferential knowledge. Now I will call upon Vishwagna to present his paper.
So students should look at both the audience and also the screen sometimes to check whether there is correlation between what they are talking in the screen.
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om. Good afternoon. My name is Vishwagna. I am here to talk about Linga Paramarsha, that means consideration of mark. As we know that as per Nyaya school, the inference is the central doctrine of Nyaya school. So the inference leads to the inferential knowledge. The consideration of mark is also known as inference. So let's see the Linga Paramarsha as per Tarkasangraha Deepika. Here let's visualize the topic as per these 5 points. First point is definition of Linga Paramarsha. Definition of Linga Paramarsha is Swarthanamte Pararthanamtyoho Linga Paramarsha Karanam Tasmad Linga Paramarsha Anumanam. Here the author Annam Bhatta defines the Linga Paramarsha like this, that the consideration of mark is the special cause for inferential knowledge for self and as well as for others. So the consideration of mark is known as Linga Paramarsha, that is Anumana, that means inference. So the consideration of mark is deemed as inference. Here comes the second point, that objection raised by opponent on conceiving the consideration as special cause. Now, before moving to the second point, let's now discern the consideration and the consideration of mark. The consideration is that which includes the knowledge of the invariable concomitants and the knowledge of the characteristic of the subject. That means Vyapti Gnana and Paramarsha Gnana, Pakshadharmata Gnana. And the Linga Paramarsha means structure of inference. Here, the consideration is the special cause for inferential knowledge as per Nayayikas. But Mimamsakas will tell that why should we consider the consideration as the special cause while the invariable concomitants, knowledge of the invariable concomitants and the knowledge of the characteristic of the subject are there.
Individually they can be the cause for the
individually they can be cause for the inferential knowledge. So Nayayikas will reply that Vanhivyapyavan iti Shabda Paramarsha Sthale Paramarshaha Vrsham Angikaraniyah. That means if the consideration excluded as the special cause for the inferential knowledge, then where the inferential knowledge derives by hearing but not by perceiving visually, there the knowledge of the invariable concomitants and the knowledge of the characteristic of the subject are not prominent, but the consideration has the prominence. So if the consideration is excluded, then without reason the effect is there, so the fallacy will occur. For that we have to assume the consideration as the special cause for the inferential knowledge in that case. But if the consideration is special cause for the inferential knowledge in one case but not in another case, then the burden of assumption will occur. So universally the consideration should be considered as the special cause for the inferential knowledge. Now Pratinas tell that mark itself is the special cause for the inferential knowledge. If the mark itself is the special cause for the inferential knowledge, then where the existence of reason is there, there also the inferential knowledge will come, but reason is not there. So the fallacy is there. If the knowledge of the mark is the special cause for the inferential knowledge, then where the existence of reason is there, there the knowledge of the mark is there. So the reason also is there and the effect is also there. So there is no fallacy. here in some tenets, the operative reason is special cause. So Annambhatta defines the operation like Tajjanyatvesti Tajjanya Janakatvam. As per the tenets which agrees the operative reason is special cause, there the knowledge of the invariable concomitance is the special cause for the inferential knowledge through the paramarsha. The paramarsha is the effect of the knowledge of the invariable concomitance and the cause for the inference. So the paramarsha is operation in that case. Like this, Annambhatta not only concludes the topic consideration of mark, but also concludes the topic inference in his scripture Tarkasangraha Deepika. Like this, I will conclude my topic. And I like to tell that Guru Kiran sir has worked very hard to make us talk here. So, on behalf of all students, I will thank him.
Chiranjeevi Vishwakna gave an informative presentation. Now I request Dr. Srinidacharya Paddhati to give speech on improvement of presentation.
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सुमुखौ सुंदरतरौ सुनासौ सुखचित्तनो सुराराधितपादाब्जौ रमानारायणोस्तुमः लसतु श्रीमदानन्दतीर्थेन्दुर्नो हृदम्बरे यद्वचश्चन्द्रिका स्वान्तसन्तापं विनिकृन्तति मन्मनोभीष्टवरदं सर्वाभीष्टफलप्रदं पुरन्दरगुरुं वन्दे दासश्रेष्ठं दयानिधिम् श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम. On the occasion of Purandaradasara Aradhana, we are gathered here to explore the possibility of Gurukula students to deliver presentations in the English language. It's a very good occasion. There is a similarity between the time of Purandaradasaru and time of Gurukula students belonging to this era. At that time also, when Purandaradasara used to live in the 16th century, there were people who could not understand the Samskrita correctly. That's why Purandaradasaru wanted to spread the message of Madhva philosophy in the language in which ordinary people can understand the essence of the philosophy. That's why he considered the regional language as a medium to spread this philosophy. Yes? Now compare it with to this condition, this era's condition. Now also there are a lot of people out there who want to understand the essence of Madhva philosophy or any other philosophy, but they don't have any acquaintance with the Samskrita language. They don't know. But there is a thirst for knowledge. And the regional languages effect is limited. There are a lot of regional languages are there. If you want to deliver the essence of philosophy in the regional language, it will reach to a limited audience. So now there is a time for Gurukula student to go beyond the regional languages and try to spread the essence of philosophy in a language which is accepted universally. That language is English language. So that's why I always used to say, when I arrived to Vyastirtha Vidyapitha, from the beginning I always used to say that you have to learn English. There is a lot of expectation from people outside the world, from the Gurukula students. Recently, I presented a speech in Indica platform, a platform which is there to spread the essence of philosophy to global audience. And some speakers who are very well versed in the Veda and Vedanta, but they don't know how to convey their message in English. They talk for 1 hour, but there were people who messaged. This scholar is talking very deeper messages, but we are not able to understand whatever he is saying. He talked for 1 hour, but people couldn't understand. And when my presentation time was there, I delivered for 40-45 minutes, and many people understood and appreciated it. And the person who runs who is the president of the platform, he said that it's very rare to see nowadays that the person who is well versed in the English as well as well versed in the Shastra. We need more people like this. I request you that you should please try to produce more people such like you. It doesn't mean that I am very well versed in English or I talk Shakespearean English. That's not important. The aim is to convey our thoughts in the language which can be understood by others. That's it. For that, we have to engage with that language first. We have to engage. First of all, we have to build a mentality where we should not apply any negativity towards any language. I will not learn English. What is the use of learning English? Who will understand? That should be put outside. We should not think about the fruit, because as validity doesn't depend on the fruitness or fruitlessness, explained by Aballavayas, quoted by Jaitirtharo. So we should not treat a subject on the basis of his fruitness or fruitlessness. It's our duty, it's our dharma to read or engage with any language which will help to spread the Madhva philosophy in the worldwide. For that, there are 2 or 3 aspects which can be looked upon. One is that you should be aware of the technical terms, and there is no guide there are no such guide that we have to use these words only, because it is translated and there are many translators, and according to their views they have translated the words. The important thing is we have to stick with one word and we have to explain it. That's it. For that, we should be familiar with the famous technical terms. Okay, that is one thing that we have all achieved, because you have created the keywords under the guidance of Guru Kiran sir. In that sense, you have achieved one aspect of the presentation. Another aspect is the fluency. The problem is that because you stay in the Gurukula, there is no ecosystem for you to converse in the English. The similar problem I also faced in my childhood days. Because there is no ecosystem. You cannot talk with any person for hours in English. But in the outside world, even my daughter will converse in the English because the ecosystem is like that. The whatever content they used to watch in the YouTube, it's also there. It's also in English. When they go to the school, people, or teachers, students, everyone will talk in English. So automatically it will arrive. But for us, it is not so simple. For that, we have to put extra effort. For that, what you have to do? First, you have to read the English paper. It's very essential. Because these are all technical terms that can be gathered in the class. Those words can be gathered in the class. But when you want to convey the general topics, there you have to build the vocabularies. Yes? For that, you have to read the newspapers, articles, books. And the one problem which you will find while reading is the pronunciation. How to pronounce the word itself is very difficult task in the English language. In Sanskrit language, there is a difficulty to identify the gender of the word. Yes, it's very difficult task. You can have fluency in identifying the gender of the word by experience, by undergoing lot of study. Like that, in English also, if you want to achieve the perfect pronunciation for the word, you have to listen. Okay, you have to listen. For that, if you want to watch the news, or if you want any kind of, if you want to, you can arrange a 1 hour session of any person who is fluent in the English, general English, not American or any English, general English. Yes. At that time, you will gather the words as well as their pronunciations. Okay. I used to make those mistakes. Okay. Because we don't know how to pronounce. We are reading. But in the English, the problem is how we read. There is no rule that we should, use the pronunciation as it is. There is a problem. So, that you have to make some corrections, fluency and the pronunciation. These are initial steps. Actually, no problem. The lot of time is there. You have started very early. When I was at your age, I didn't know single word because no one was there to guide us. That you have to read this, you have to read that. While doing my PhD, I struggled a lot because I didn't know how to gather the information, because all information is there in the English language. So there are such difficulties which were faced by your previous generation, but now this new generation has an opportunity. Yes, so use the opportunity and try to not, I am not telling that you will be speaking very standard English in the next presentation. I am not expecting that because it's a very difficult task. You should, take a pledge that I will improve upon it. Whatever I have delivered today, there may be some minor problems. I will improve upon it and I will try to make further corrections on those aspects. That's it. That is enough. If year by year, if you do like this, when you go to the Sudhamangala stage, you will be able to deliver your Anuvada in English. Okay, that should be the goal. But I think you can do that because I have observed the growth. I observed the growth also because as you remember, when we introduced this Indian philosophy in the first year, there were a lot of fumblings were there. Yes, mispronunciations, fumblings, many reluctantness. Why we should read? Why should we study? Reluctantness also there. Fumbling was also there. But now I think we have accepted the fact that it's very important to read and learn English and to present our thoughts in English. And especially when you want to have your growth in academic circle, if you want to become assistant professor, associate professor, or if you want to write some articles. Nowadays, if you write in articles in Sanskrit, no one will not look to consideration. You have to write it in English. For that, you have to gather the knowledge. Language, it is not language. That's it. It's nothing beyond that. Okay, it's instrumental to convey our thoughts. That's it. You have to take it like that. For that, I appreciate your hard work, and every one of you have tried their level best to deliver whatever you have gathered your thoughts on the basis of the text. And I hope there will be growth in coming days under the guidance of Guru Kiran sir. And I appreciate the hard work of Guru Kiran sir, because it's a very difficult task. And one thing I want to mention, that he can be, influential person for you, because he doesn't know the philosophy part. Yes, he is well known. He has the knowledge of language, English language, but he has no knowledge of philosophy on the base level. But he goes to scholars, he discusses with them, he tries to understand, and he creates notes, and then come to the class and teach you. Yes, you know the philosophy part, you don't know the language part, so you can become a unity. Acharyaha Purarupam Anteva Sittarupam. There can be a unity, and you can achieve great things in your life. Yeah, of course. You can. He will learn something from you, and you will learn many things from him. From this unity, you can achieve many greater things. I hope those greater things will fall in upcoming days, and these kind of efforts will be made in upcoming years also. As my wish is that when you reach this stage, at least for half an hour, you should be able to deliver your Anuvada in English. That's Gurukula's dream as well Swamiji's dream. With these remarks, I conclude my speech. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Before we come to the concluding stage of the program, there are two procedures to be followed. I request Madhvacharya to announce the first three top ranks in this.
It's a good experience for me, because I was not used to such type of seminars and all. So a good experience for me also. Students are doing very well. As Patyacha said, it has to be improved, because language gives us the confidence. Even though we are knowing the subject, we have the knowledge also. To convey our thoughts, we need language. So, if we don't know English nowadays, what will happen means, we will be considered as a waste object. Even though we know Sanskrit, we know philosophy, everything we know, if we can't convey our thoughts in English, they will treat us as a what we call as Goddu Vaidikaru. We will be considered like that. So, according to the time, we should change ourselves, and whatever will be the situation, we should be ready to face that situation. For that, we need this English language. It has become a compulsory and a necessity for us. So, actually, I am very poor in English. So, I'll conclude my speech like this only. And okay. Arjun Simha got the first prize, and Vallabha Tati got the second prize, and Vishwagna got the third place.
No prizes, just marks itself the prize. Another event
This is only for the other to motivate their speech and their intention. This is not a discrimination. Oh, he got the first, he got the second. This is to motivate the others to get that place.
although it is our Swamiji's vision, students should learn English and progress in life, but the person who came and put that vision practically into application was Dr. Paddhati Acharya, who introduced this subject as a curriculum. So only when the subject is introduced in the curriculum, then the seriousness will come. Without it being in the curriculum, we cannot be serious. We will take it lightly. So I request Vidwan Shrikant Acharya, who is a guest of honor today, to present a small compliment from the Vidyapitha to Srimati Paddhati Acharya.
Now I would like to invite Nilakanta to deliver his vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nilakanta.
I am here to deliver the vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to thank Dr. A.P. Pradosh Acharya, who took time from his teaching work and come here to encourage us by presiding our seminar. It is our good fortune today that not only Dr. Pradosh Acharya but also his teacher Srinivas Murthy Acharya has come to this seminar as chief guest. Next, we would like to thank Dr. Srinidhi Paddhati Acharya, who introduced this subject called Indian philosophy, and also come here today to test our progress in English. Thank you, Acharya. Next, we would like to thank Vidwan Madhava Acharya, who comes here to give us his encouragement and support. He has been encouraging also in other subjects. After that, we thank Vidwan Shrikant Acharya, who has not only taught us Tarkasangraha, but also helped us to present Tarkasangraha on stage. We also thank our other teachers who used to come and encourage us in the English Pakshika Pariksha. Next, we thank our beloved principal Vidwan Sughosh Acharya, who has taken the English training for us very seriously. He has not only organized this seminar for us, but also let off his own classes for our sake, so that we could practice for this seminar. Next, we thank Srimati Purnima Madam, as without her English classes, we could not have spoken in English today. It is mostly with her efforts that we could pass the SSLC standard examination. Thank you very much, madam. We also thank Library Kiran sir, who did the DTP work required for this seminar. We cannot forget to thank you, Sri Raghu sir and Vijay Anna, who has spent his time for us
doing the recording and screen projector arrangement. I now want to thank Sri Guru Kiran sir, who has guided and motivated all of us. We thank all of office staff or SVVP, without whose support our seminar wouldn't have been a success. Last but not the least, we thank all the parents who have come here to encourage not only their children but also all of us. Thank you. Thank you.
We thank all the students, participants and students who have come here and worked